Have you ever thought about what is the best pizza topping? Because I've thought about it quite a bit, and to be fair, I know cheese and sauce, of course, but I feel like those are obvious though, so I'm not going to include them. But to be completely honest, I think pepperoni might be my favorite topping. I love pepperoni. It's so good. It's got a nice spice to it most of the time. Just really good overall. I just love it on pizza. Hello everybody, this is that Manga Dude, and welcome to another pickups video. This one's gonna be a great one because I managed to pick up a crazy haul that I'm gonna be talking about towards the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. If you're on Twitter, you already know what it is. But man, I got a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of new publishers too coming into the game. Kind of crazy how many new ones and how many different publishers I actually did manage to pick up. I don't have an exact count, but it is a lot. So really excited to get into this one. Let's get going right now. Bam! Alright, so the first section of my manga pickups videos are always usually, always usually publishers I A, didn't get a lot from, B, they're defunct, but it's been a little bit weird because actually a lot of the bigger publishers I actually didn't pick up too much from this past month, as you'll come to see. And yeah, there's a new player at the end, which is it's a little bit surprising, but let's get going. So, first up, new-ish publisher now. They've been out for I think 2 months now, or 2 or 3 months, and I picked up Kerberos in the Silver Rain from Lira Aikawa, also known as Naked Ape, and Berry Star. This is from Alien Books, which is the Valiant manga division. Really cool to have this. I love that it comes with a sleeve. The manga pages are really great and thick. Yeah, overall it's just a really good release, and I'm happy to have it, so I'll definitely be checking this out soon. Alright, and another new publisher, their first series has officially released, for better or for worse, and that is Inklore with My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999 from Mashiro. So this was a really hyped release. A lot of people were extremely excited when this got announced for English print release. And then we got shown what the English cover looks like, and it is not liked, to say the least. I would say overall it's been pretty much hated upon. It's simplified down to being really boring, to be completely honest. Kind of a big shame, because looking at the actual cover from the Japanese release, it looks really good, and they could have gone with that, but for some reason they decided to remove it, and no one really knows why. So hopefully Inklore listens to criticism and a lot of the voices that people are saying, or a lot of the voices across the manga universe and the manga fans, so that maybe we get a better cover later. But I did see somebody on Twitter post a customized cover which uses more of the actual Japanese stuff while adding a little bit of that English flair, so that it has an English cover, and it looks fantastic. So may or may not be printing that out in the near future. Alright, up next from Vertical, I picked up The Delinquent Housewife Volume 4 from Nemuyoko. This is the final volume of this series, and yeah, I kind of just wanted to finish off this series because I was enjoying it. Volume 3 kind of put me in a weird place. It's actually why I waited so long to get the 4th volume. I didn't really like where the third volume was kind of leading into the final volume, so hopefully it subverts my expectations, but I'm not really getting my hopes up. But here it is. We'll probably be reading it soon. Alright, up next from Denpa, I decided to pick up the really popular Heavenly Delusion from Masakazu Ishiguro. This is volume 1, and yeah, so I actually read a different series from this same creator, and I didn't like it as much. I think it was called Sky Grazer or something like that, or Sky Gazer, it's one of the two, and it was not vibing for me, but I decided to pick this up just to see what everybody's talking about. It looks really cool from what I could tell. A lot of people have hyped it up, a lot of mangaka have also hyped it up and say they've been really enjoying it, so can't wait to check it out. Alright, coming into Titan Manga, I got myself first volume, or the only volume, of Grace Rosa from Himuro. So I believe this is supposed to be an action series following the story about this girl here on the front. It looked kind of cool. I didn't know what it was supposed to be. I didn't see anybody talk about it, so definitely wanted to pick it up and see what it's all about, and maybe give a suggestion when I decide to read it. And the other volume is another hyped release, Speed Grapher from Tomozo, based on the story by Gonzo. I know a lot of people were really hyped when this got announced. Excuse me, by Titan Manga. So really happy to have it. I have not read it just yet, but definitely excited to check it out. Alright, coming into Square Enix, I got the 9th volume of The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses from Koume Fujichika. Yeah, this has just been that really cute rom-com series that I've been really enjoying across the board. I know, like, the anime definitely gave it, definitely put it in a bad light, but I think the manga is actually really good and really cute. I just think it's adorable. Not much else to say about it. Yeah, can't wait to check it out. Coming up next, I picked up the 2nd volume of Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You from Janushi. Really happy to have this because the 1st volume was awesome. I really loved it. So excited to get the 2nd volume and check it out because, yeah, I've been really loving this release. I've been really liking Square Enix specifically for this release because, like, the covers look really good. The page quality is pretty solid across the board. Just, I don't know. It's overall a very good release. Very excited to read this one. Alright, coming up to 7 Seas, I picked up the 8th volume of Candy and Cigarettes from Tomonori Inoue. Yeah, really excited. We're continuing in this arc. I can't tell if this is supposed to be the final arc. It kind of feels like we're in the final arc, but I'm not really sure. But I've been really loving this series. It's been a really fun one. I've talked about it quite a bit in various other videos, but basically, quick rundown. It's an action series following a story about a former cop turned cleaner for an assassin who is a young girl. It is not this young girl. This is somebody else. But it is crazy. It's intense. It's a lot of fun. The art's pretty solid, and yeah, excited to have this next volume. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 2nd volume of BL Metamorphosis from Kaori Surutani. I did read the 1st volume recently, and I thought it was awesome, so wanted to pick up the series as quickly as possible, but I'm a little slower than I thought because the releases are kind of hard to find, not gonna lie, so happy to have the 2nd volume, and I cannot wait to read it. Alright, up next, from Old School Tokyo Pop, I picked up the 6th volume of Kare Kano, His and Her Circumstances from Asami Suda. This is a classic shoujo series following a story about these 2 kids here who end up falling in love and have very different personalities outside of school. It's a really, really funny series. I've been cracking up every time I read a volume, so decided to get the 6th volume, and we'll probably be reading this semi-soon. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 1st volume of Dragon Head from Minotaro Mochizuki. I don't know anything about this. It was kind of interesting to see, so looks like it's going to be like an action, maybe like survival horror series. Yeah, don't know about it, but maybe it's good, and I'll be reading it eventually, I guess. And last but not least for Tokyo Pop, I picked up Tokyo Mew Mew Volume 2 from Miya Ikumi and Reiko Yoshida. This is the classic magical girl series, following the story of this girl who gains the ability to turn into a magical girl and it kind of acts like a cat. And she also, people, and girls around her also get affected by it and become various other animals and creatures and also magical girls as well. It's really silly. I like the 1st volume quite a bit, so decided to get the 2nd volume as well. Alright, coming up next from Comics 1, this is volumes 4, 5, and 6 of Wild 7 from Mikiya Mochizuki. So here they are. Yeah, really cool to have this. I've heard from somebody in my comments saying that this is an incomplete release in English because they kind of just picked and pulled from various arcs to create these volumes, which is a little unfortunate, but just decided to have it because I think it's really cool to preserve this kind of manga, especially since who knows if we'll ever get it again in English, but really cool to have these, and we'll probably be reading it eventually soon. Alright, last but not least, for Comics 1, I picked up the 2nd volume of Maiko 2010 from Toshimitsu Shimizu. One of those ones that was printed this direction, so very strange. But happy to have this. I know there's one specific person, I think the owner of Starfruit Books, loves this series, or really enjoys it and owns it, so decided to pick up the 2nd volume, see what it's all about. Notice I was talking a little fast, so I gotta slow down just a bit. But up next, we got ourselves the Yen Press / typically the Kodansha section, but it's going to actually be the Viz Media section because I got a lot of Kodansha volumes, as you're going to see at the end, or if you looked at the thumbnail. So let's get into this part. So, Yen Press, I picked up the 16th volume of Soul Eater from Atsushi Okubo. I am getting so close to finishing the series, and I'm really happy because it has been just absolutely wonderful and amazing to read. Been loving the evolution of Atsushi Okubo's art as we go from the beginning, going into the volume 15 and 16. The art looks so much better and so much more exciting and engaging. It's great, and I can't wait to read this volume. All right, up next, I decided to pick up the last volume of The Essence of Being Amused. This is volume 3 from Aya Fumino. Another absolutely gorgeous cover. So this series has been really good. I've been highly suggesting it because I just think it's very interesting. Basically, it follows a story about this girl who is like a really, really good artist in high school and decides to try to go to school for it in college, but unfortunately does not pass. So she lives her life kind of just following what her mother has always told her. Oh, go get a job. Oh, go try to find love. La 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 la. And eventually she finds herself at like a crossroads with her life where she wants to do what she enjoys, but doesn't want to disappoint her mother. And it's it's about her pursuing her dreams as an artist. So it's a really interesting read. I'm really happy to have this final volume. I wish it was a little bit longer because I don't know how they're going to be able to wrap up everything, but we'll see. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the second volume of Aka 13 Territory Inspection Department from Natsume Ono. I have not read the first volume, so I don't really know anything about it, but I do know that it has a pretty successful anime from what I heard. People really liked it, so excited to check this out. Up next, I decided to pick up the Friday at the Atelier Volume 1 from Sakura Hamada. This is a new series released from Yen Press that I actually did for an FVI, so if you want my full opinions on that, go check that video out. But basically, you're just going to have to be a little bit patient because this will be in the reading log. But not much else to say. It's got a nice cover. Yeah, that's all I'll say here. And last but not least, from Yen Press, although this is a manhwa, this is not Yen Press, so it's technically Ise Press, but they actually sent me Tied to You Volume 1 from What? And Chelly Ace, or Chelly Ace, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I've not read this just yet, but it was really cool to get another free volume from them. I've actually been only getting specifically manhwa, which is kind of interesting because I don't really read manhwa, so my only 2 manhwa volumes are from them, but really appreciate it, and I will definitely be reading this soon. Alright, coming into the Viz Media section, we have ourselves the Shoujo Beats section. So first up, I got Let's Do It Already Volume 1 early from Aki Kusaka. So really happy to have this. A lot of people were really excited when this got announced. I feel like I say that a lot, but it's true. Don't know much about it. I believe it's supposed to be about these two who are like supposedly made for each other. And then when they start dating, the girl is like a little bit more pursuant about what she wants. And the guy is like, I need my boundaries. So, we'll see what happens. It looks cute and excited to get into this. Up next, decided to pick up the 6th volume of My Special One from Momoko Koda, continuing the story of the absolutely silly ridiculousness that is this story. Follows a story about this girl who promises to never fall in love again. Lo and behold, she meets an idol from this like really popular group, and they end up becoming friends and maybe a little bit something more. So it's just continuing that story. Yeah, really excited to check this out because I've been loving this one quite a bit. Up next, decided to pick up the 2nd volume of In the Name of the Mermaid Princess, Volume 2 from Yoshino Fumikawa and Miya Tashiro. Wow, that was a mouthful. Yeah, this was a pretty solid series for the first volume. I really liked it. I thought it had some really gorgeous art. Loved the cover. The story was pretty good as well. The characters were pretty good. So really happy to have this. I'm going to be checking this out soon. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the 3rd volume of Tomon's B-Side from Yuki Shiwasu. Another great series following an idol, but it follows this girl who is like the biggest fan of this idol, and as she's working as a cleaner, she gets hired to clean his apartment, not knowing that he has a B-side to him where he's kind of edgy, kind of sad, kind of depressed, which is the complete opposite of his persona. So it's really fun. It's really silly. It's very stupid, but yeah, I think it's great, and happy to have the 3rd volume. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 3rd volume of Kiss of the Rose Princess from Aya Shouoto, I think is how you pronounce it. I read the first volume a while back, and it was like basically this girl who gets a hold of these cards, and these cards summon her knights to protect her, and they're like various people that she's like colleagues with, like the various students at the school. So it's a pretty silly series from the first volume, and interested to see where it goes. So happy to get the 3rd volume. Alright, up next from the Shonen Jump section, we have ourselves the 15th volume of Chainsaw Man, Mr. Man of Chain himself, Tatsuki Fujimoto. yeah, happy to have this. I'm not like the biggest fan of part 2, to be completely honest. I find it to be a bit slow. I'm not really understanding it as much, or not necessarily understanding it, but I do think it's kind of dragging. So hopefully it picks up soon. I want to see what all the hype is about because people really like this series, and I'm just one of those people who thinks it's fine. So we'll see. Up next, I decided to pick up the 4th volume of Blade of the Moon Princess. This is a early release because it's supposed to release in June. This is from Tatsuya Endo. This is a series that by Tatsuya Endo, like I mentioned, who is the mangaka behind Spy Family. So this is one of the series that he worked on previously. Yeah, excited to get into this one. I've been saying that it's been pretty decent, not necessarily like the biggest, craziest series in the world, but I've been enjoying it, so I decided to pick up the 4th volume. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 7th volume of Dark Gathering from Kenichi Kondo. So, been really loving this series. It's a great horror series coming out from the Shonen Jump line of Viz Media. Love it a lot. The art is super cool. The story's pretty decent as well. So, if you're looking for like some really creepy manga that has kind of like a weird twist to it, where like a lot of the characters are a little goofy and there's like some ridiculous designs, I would say definitely check it out. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 26th volume of Twin Star Exorcist from Yoshiaki Sukeno. This is actually still wrapped, but I did get it used, which is kind of cool. So really excited to have this. Love this series. I talk about it to death on this channel, so I'm not going to talk about it much here. But yeah, really happy to have it. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 12th volume of Sakamoto Days from Yuto Suzuki. It just recently got an anime announcement, so super excited for that. But definitely check out the manga. The manga's absolutely amazing, and really happy to have this volume a little early. Up next, decided to pick up the 10th volume of Kaiju number 8 from Naoya Matsumoto. Another early volume. Another series that recently got an anime. Don't really know much about the anime, to be completely fair. But super happy to have this, and I can't wait to read it. Up next, decided to pick up the 36th volume of Bleach from Tite Kubo. Don't have much to say about this, just slowly but surely knocking out the Bleach collection. Up next, decided to get I Want to End This Love Game from Yuki Domodo. This is volume 2. Pretty okay, solid shonen rom-com series following the story about these two kids. One's a guy, one girl, who are playing this thing called the Love Game, where they try to make themselves flustered at one another, and whoever loses, it's the end of the game. So, but they're all both madly in love with each other. They just can't admit it because they're being silly. So it's a weird concept, but I do enjoy it. I think it's pretty fun. The art's pretty solid. I'm not the biggest fan of the covers, to be completely honest, because I think the art looks a lot better in the series itself. But yeah, it's been one of those basic shonen rom-coms. Maybe I'll change my mind about it, but for now, I think it's pretty okay. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 2nd volume of Switch from Naked Ape. Don't have much to say about this because I haven't even read the 1st volume, but happy to have the 2nd volume in my hands. Up next, decided to pick up the 4th volume of Heart Gear from Tsuyoshi Tamaki. Super happy to have this. It's been one of my favorite series coming out from the Viz Signature line. It's awesome. Really cool sci-fi action series. If you're looking for some beautiful art, pretty cool story as well, definitely give this a shot. Up next, decided to pick up the 1st volume of Hira Yasumi from Keigo Shinzo. This is a series that I was super looking forward to. It was in my top 10 hyped manga of 2024. And yeah, it did not disappoint. You should go check out my FYI if you want my full opinions on it. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 4th volume of Mariette Generation, aka the last volume in the bookstore that I was buying them from. I do not know if this is the last volume published by Viz, but really happy to have this. It's in fairly good condition. The cover is a little bit bent, which is, kind of bad, but considering this is an out-of-print series and it's very old, yeah, just happy to have it. Alright, up next, decided to pick up Star Wars Visions, the manga anthology from Kamome Shirahama, Haruichi, Yusuke Osawa, and Keisuke Sato. This is a collection of Star Wars Visions, which is that TV show where a bunch of anime studios did a variety of different Star Wars stories that released on Disney+. So this is like the manga version of that. Really happy to have this. It's really cool to have like Star Wars stuff and to have a lot of really great manga artists work on it. So excited to check this out and give you my opinions on it. Alright, last but not least for Viz, I got Tokyo These Days Volume 2 from Taiyo Matsumoto. Super happy to have this. This is a really great series. I really love the 1st volume, so yeah, just really happy to have this and can't wait to keep reading it. Alright, we are coming into the final section of this video, and this is now the Kodansha section. Typically, this is the Viz Media section. It might be next month, but we'll never know until next month, huh? So let's get started. Check this out. This has got a story to it. So, Facebook Marketplace, great place to buy manga. If you haven't been utilizing Facebook Marketplace or don't have Facebook, definitely look into it. Facebook Marketplace is awesome. Obviously, be careful. It's online shopping. Usually you have to pick up, so just be careful about scammers and weirdos. But managed to find this guy who was just trying to sell off his manga, and he was selling them for $5 each per volume. And I had to ask him because I was really confused when I saw it, because I was like, there's no way that he's selling these for $5 each. But he said, yep, definitely am, just trying to get rid of them. So I ended up picking up a ton of manga for $60 total. Now let's get into it. So that is going to be volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as well as volumes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, volumes 1 through 11 of Vinland Saga for $55, as well as 2 Year Eternity, volumes 1, 2, and 3. I picked up 14 volumes of manga, 11 hardcovers, 3 softcover tall boys, 14 volumes for $60. I don't know what this guy was thinking, but thank you so much. You are awesome. This is why I highly suggest checking out Facebook Marketplace, because you just never know. I don't typically get crazy hauls like this, but every once in a while, it just happens. So super happy to have this. I've always heard Vinland Saga is really, really good, but I haven't actually read it. So happy to get it for the price that I did. Are they in the best condition? No, I mean, there's yellowing and stuff, so you could tell they've been kind of sitting in storage and didn't really take too much care of it. But honestly, considering the price, I am just happy to have it for what it is. So super excited to check this out, and really, really happy with this haul. Okay, now that that's all cleared away, I picked up the first volume of I See Your Face Turned Away from Rumi Ichinohe. Really great series. I really like this first volume, and you can hear my full opinions about this in the FVI from this past month. But yeah, I'm really excited to have this. It's a really awesome shoujo like romance series, I guess. I wouldn't say it's a comedy, but I liked it a lot. That's all I can say right now. You can go check out, like I said, the FVI, or wait until my TLDR in the reading log. Alright, decided to pick up the 12th volume of Witch Hat Atelier. Super happy to have this. I didn't even know it was releasing. This is from Kamome Shirahama, of course. Really excited. I love Witch Hat Atelier. I'm pretty sure you've heard me talk about that. It is a Will Eisner winner, so that means it's been noticed by Americans or the Western media. So super happy. Really like this series, and I can't wait to read it. Ooh, excuse me. Oh gosh, I got hiccups. I'm just so excited. Oh boy. Picked up the second volume of Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen from Hiromi Sato and Kamome Shirahama. Great spin-off series of Witch Hat Atelier that focuses on these two, aka Orugio and Quifri, as they cook for their good old-fashioned selves and for their apprentices. It's fun, it's cute, and yes, the undertones are hilarious. Decided to pick up the second volume of Otto as well from Amano Jaku. This is the second volume, like I mentioned. Pretty solid sci-fi series following the story about this kid who has like these powers, unbeknownst to him, that are going to get him attacked by the military. And yeah, it's a very intense series. It's really crazy. But yeah, love the first volume, and I can't wait to check out the second one. Or maybe love is not the strongest word. Maybe I really liked it. Although I will say that it was dampened a bit because I had just read Akira, and they are very similar. So yeah, excited to check this volume out as well. And last but not least for this video, I picked up the second volume of Medalist from Suru Maikata. Super happy to have this. Medalist has been awesome. I loved that first volume, and really happy to have the second volume. So super awesome ice skating series. If you have not checked it out, you definitely should. Whew, and that is going to be it for this video. Wow, that was a mouthful. A lot to talk about, but really excited and really happy with everything that I picked up. So yeah, what did you pick up in this past month of May? Let me know in the comments below. Did you see any of the series in my pickups that you really enjoyed or really excited to pick up? Let me know also in the comments below. You know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things. I really appreciate it. And thank you to my member, my one and only member, Rex C. Lee. You are awesome. You are amazing. I appreciate it. You can get these videos early if you become a member, and I keep mentioning it, and hopefully I will get that done eventually soon. But I would like to work on my memberships so that you guys have better incentives to want to support me in that way. So yes, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.